Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you could purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today, we're discussing the Grand Seiko Heritage Collection SBGV239, a watch 40 millimeters in stainless steel, 10.7 millimeters thick, lug-to-lug. The timepiece measures 46.2 millimeters. If you include the solid end links of the bracelet, a more substantial but still very wearable 49.8 millimeters. I can recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. The timepiece is graceful on the wrist, and as you can see, it's an easy one to wear. Flat, slick, Zaratsu polished stainless steel men's all-arounder. It combines a robust 100-meter water resistance with a handsome formality about its spectacular sunburst blue dial and its simple faceted double-finished stainless steel case. So let's quickly throw this one on the wrist. By the way, I should mention the watch with a 19-millimeter spacing between the lugs, and we'll talk a little bit about the bracelet that is stuffed between those lugs. It's a good looking bracelet, polished intermediates. You can see that it's polished on its outer faces, and there's a lovely transitional bevel on the flanks of the links. Staggered link alignment. You can see that the conforming end link nicely matches the slope, the angular slope of the lugs, as well as the curve of the case, and the removable links are fixed in place by screws. You can see there's a half link, and that half link on each side of the clasp, allowing you to precisely size. The clasp itself, a twin trigger release system with milled swing arms internally. It's quite secure. You must press both triggers to open it up, so it's sure tight against accidental deployment. Rolling back to the case, I talked about Zaratsu finish, and I should first mention that this particular case profile, alternately known as the polyhedron or the 44GS, is a long-term design heritage element for Grand Seiko, dating back to the 1967 Grand Seiko 44GS that pioneered this form in the first place. Now, everything that is reflective and polished is Zaratsu finish. This is a tin plate manual finishing by which a spinning tin plate is used as the milling surface by an artisan who uses eye and hand coordination as well as artisanal knowledge to create these micrometrically symmetrical and perfect facets on each side of the case, as well as the optically smooth mirrored surfaces. Now, this is known as black polish in Switzerland, but you're used to seeing it on screws, swan's neck regulators, caps of wheels, not on components the size of a case. And you can see Grand Seiko has not only given you a completely hand-finished case, but it is a nuanced case with a lovely satin-finished stripe in the middle and an arcing, almost biomorphic form on the bottom that defies the angularity of the lugs themselves. You'll also note how the bezel waxes and wanes as it's countersunk into the lug profile. Absolutely astounding levels of attention to detail, design, and fine finish. The dial of this one is difficult to explain, and perhaps this angle gives you the best vantage point because you're able to see, and I'm going to give this a little bit more light here, but you're able to see that it is a spectacular blue sunburst and not a black dial. It has incredibly lush depth and luster to it. Absolutely sensational before we even talk about the quality of Grand Seiko dial furniture. The hand-finished, faceted, alternately polished and satin-executed components such as the hands at center and the indices, as well as the Grand Seiko logo and the frame for the date. All of that in a dial that's graced by a lovely stepping seconds hand, revealing one of the keys to this 9F caliber. Now, the 9F caliber is one of the finest quartz movement in the world. One of the reasons is that this quartz caliber has a lash adjustment system that ensures the seconds hand always aligns perfectly with the indices every single time. That's one of the features it has. It has a 2 to 3 year power reserve. It also has a double pulse system that allows extended minute and seconds hands to be used. So 2 pulses of torque. A conventional quartz is going to use excessive power with long hands. The double pulse is both energy efficient and sufficiently forceful to propel these lovely elongated hands. There's way more. It's thermocompensated and thus exceptionally accurate. Instead of the standard quartz plus or minus 15 seconds a month, this is plus or minus 10 seconds per year. The 9 jewel caliber 9F, it's 9F82 in this watch, is thoughtfully considered, as there's a 9F62 for smaller cases and the 9F82 SBGV2 featured here for larger cases. Grand Seiko even sweating the proper sizing of case and movement in a watch that does not feature a display case back. You have stop seconds, and you also have a quick set date. There is a cam and spring system that is set by hand, allowing the quick set of the date to go forth, as well as the instantaneous jump 2 minutes after midnight, and it is always 2 minutes after midnight on a Grand Seiko Quartz. There is also a trimmer mechanism internally that allows the Grand Seiko watchmaker to account for the long-term drift of quartz crystals. Because this is a lifetime watch and a lifetime movement, Grand Seiko wants to be able to adjust for the aging of the quartz crystal over decades, so such a provision is included in the movement. We are looking now at over 25 years of the 9F, and it has maintained its position at the forefront of quartz technology and fine craft, as no fewer than 2 watchmakers work on this movement between the caliber itself and the date jumper mechanism. One of the most exquisitely handcrafted and hand-tuned quartz calibers or watches of any kind you will ever encounter. This is the Grand Seiko Heritage Collection SBGV239 in stainless steel.